President William Samoei Ruto is getting into a trap. It will be very difficult to disentangle himself from this trap. If he decides to go head on with the church or using some proxies around him, it is going to be very difficult to win this war. And if he's listening to some of his advisors, please let him not go that direction, because he's going to fall. The church will break him into pieces. We've seen a very serious rebellion from the church, including the churches that supported him in 2022. The Catholic Church recently pronounced themselves on abductions in the country, corruption, and all the atrocities that are meted on innocent Kenyans. And one of the very closest allies of William Ruto, Sudi, went full throttle against Bishop Muheria. Then yesterday, the Catholics decided to reject donation that William Ruto had given to one of the branches, the Catholic Church in Kayole, where they even promised he would buy them a bus, would help them build a house to one of the fathers. And they said the money that is already in the bank will be returned. And they requested Ruto not to send the rest that they had promised. And that is the decision of the church. The church is an institution, and they are also being guided and led by policies. But I've all realized that William Ruto has charged his people, especially bloggers, and they are attacking the church. One of the people who spoke again, and I think someone must call on Sudi to stop it, because anamwaribia William Ruto very subconsciously. He's doing more damage to William Ruto than he thinks. Now I want us to read two reactions from two people who really support William Ruto. And one of them is Bianca. Bianca is saying, I have been reflecting on the Catholic Church's decision to refund President Ruto's donation. Many questions have crisscrossed my mind. Previously, this church has received millions of shillings from leaders like Uhuru, but never refunded. Isn't it double standard? This selective action raises questions about fairness and transparency in how the church handles donations from public officials. It's a long one, but that first and second paragraph will tell you what exactly is in the minds of those who are supporting William Ruto. Now, I want us to read Robert Alai, who also reacted to the same. And this is what Robert is saying. Robert is also an adherent to William Ruto, supporting William Ruto ever since we formed that broad-based government. I find this statement and action by the Catholic bishops absurd, hateful, and polarizing. And I don't know how Robert finds it polarizing. On Sunday in Embu, former President Uhuru Kenyatta gave the bishops presents. Why did they refuse and return it? Catholic Church has been used before to stir hate and animosity. It's being used now also to stir hate for Ruto. If you are going to return sadaka and gifts, return all. Don't be selective in the return. And I want you to look at how they are looking at this. They are saying their focus is on Uhuru Kenyatta. And I wonder why anytime William Ruto is cornered, then those who are supporting William Ruto would always blame Uhuru Kenyatta. During the demonstrations, they said Uhuru was sponsoring the demonstrations. When the Law Society of Kenya, Kenya National Human Rights, and some Kenyans of goodwill decided to go to the courts against Ruto's policies like the housing levy, the transition from NHIF to SHA, they blamed Uhuru Kenyatta. Again, they are now saying that the church accepted the donation from Uhuru Kenyatta. And they are saying, why are they now rejecting Ruto's donations? Let me bring to your attention, when they took an impeachment motion against Rigathi Gachagua, Kenyans were asking, kufa dereva kufa makanga. And they were saying the very, very accusations that had been leveled against Gachagua or William Ruto is also guilty of the very, very charges that they brought against William Ruto. Do you know the argument was that we are dealing with that which has been brought to the floor of the House? You cannot be corrupt because Ruto is corrupt. That is what they were telling us. That Rigathi Gachagua cannot, justify practicing politics of shareholders just because William Ruto is practicing it by appointing people of the people of his tribe. And if they're talking about selective justice, it is here. If they so believed that when Rigathi Gachagua was accused of, shareholding and all those that they mentioned, then he was not going to say that, Ruto is also doing this. Let us stick to this. If Ruto has given a donation, Uhuru also gave a donation and the Catholic Church received it, they know the reason why. Let us deal with the one that is being brought before us. Because they want to pretend that they don't know that, number one, the Catholic Church recently criticized William Ruto. And so when they give such an amount of money and donations, it is being viewed by many as an attempt to bribe or to silence the church. It has happened before when they carried brown envelopes to the church. And the Catholic Church is listening to the ground. And they don't want to be mixed up. Because once they have been given this money, it will be like Judas. They will be betraying their people, betraying the blood of Gen Zs. You cannot take money from the very person you are accusing of atrocities, abductions, torture, and killings. Uhuru was never criticized in any way. And the function that Uhuru gave out that money is different from the one that William Ruto attended. The Catholic Church has got its structures. And so when they decided that they want to, especially it is the Diocese of Nairobi or something, they understand and they know the reason why they rejected this. Number two, Uhuru Kenyatta is an ordinary man now. He's the immediate former president. William Ruto is in power. When counties are demanding money that is not reaching them, when several institutions, including teachers and doctors, are going for strike to ensure that they're given money, this money is not there yet. There is one that is donated to the church. Kenyans will be looking at the Catholic Church as part and parcel of this very cruel government. And that is why they have decided to reject. So let us not bring in issues and saying that, mlichukua ile ya Uhuru. Let us listen to Oscar Sudi.
Mimi nataka niseme hivi kuhusu ndugu zetu bishops na wa Kenya, wa Kristo na Waislamu. Hakuna siku sisi kama viongozi tumayeenda kanisani na tukasema tuko na pesa ya kudonate ama tumayejipeleka kwa harambee. Mimi ni Mkristo, nililelewa kanisani kuanzia Sunday school, na nimejua kuanzia nikiwa mdogo ya kwamba kanisa haina kiti yoyote, haina namna yoyote. Kanisani ni waumini, mimi, wewe na mwingine tunachanga, tunatoa fungu la 10 tujenge kanisa. Lakini nashangaa sasa imefika kiwango tumeanza kugombana na kupigiana kelele mambo ya kanisani. Kwanza nataka niseme hivi. Sisi tunaamini kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. Na tunaamini tutaenda mbinguni siku moja. Na tunaamini ya kwamba tuliambiwa tumeenda kutengenezewa makao. Lakini pia mimi na wewe jua ya kwamba Ukristo ni wewe mwenyewe. So mimi nikiwa mwanasiasa kama kiongozi, wewe ukiwa bishop, ukiwa pastor, ukiwa father, sisi wote ni binadamu. Na wewe uko na makosa kama bishop, hata kwa familia yako, hata kwa kanisa. Mimi niko na makosa kama kiongozi. Kila mtu hapa ako na mambo yenye lazima atakosea mahali. Na ndio mimi nataka niombe siku ya leo ya kwamba mwananchi ule mwenye ana abudu katika kanisa lolote lile ama msikiti lolote lile, ni wao ndio wao wanachanga, na wao ndio wanatuita wanasema tusaidie jamani tuchange kanisani ili tuombe ama tuabudu mahali safi, mahali ya heshima, mahali yenye Mungu pia atafurahi tukiwa tunaabudu mahali safi, mahali kuna heshima. So nataka niombe ndugu zangu bishops, naona mmekasirika na sisi mpaka wanasema mtaka kurudisha pesa yenye tumetoa kanisani. Nataka niwaombe msamaha kwa sababu labda sisi tunawakosea saa zingine. Tunaenda direct kanisa pale chini. Na kumbe labda ulikuwa unataka upitiwe ndio tufike pale, ama sielewi ni nini. Kwa sababu wale pastors na fathers wale pale chini na waumini wa kanisa, labda unapata ni watu wanachanga mpaka wengine hata wanatoroka kanisani because wanaambiwa kila wiki changa. So nashangaa sana wewe mwenye huko hapa juu unapinga kazi inafanyika pale chini. So tunaomba msamaha kama tumewakosea, lakini fungu la 10 lazima tutoe, kanisa lazima twende na tutaendelea. Hiyo nataka niombe kabisa bishops, mtusamee kama tumewakosea kwenda pale chini bila nyinyi. Ama kama kuna kitu kingine hapa, mtuambie kwa sababu nyinyi ndio mnafaa kutuelekeza, sio nyinyi kupasua inji. Ama sio nyinyi. Ninaona wengine wanasema hata watataka kuitisha maandamano. Sijui hii binguni itakuwa.
No, you know, Oscar Sudi is Ruto's spanner boy. When he speaks, you listen to William Ruto. Now, when you see Oscar Sudi speaking, and you know, they now want to blame the bishops. You've seen the choreographed manner they have taken, the trajectory, that maybe the bishops wanted William Ruto to pass through them. Oscar Sudi is doing damage control. He knows very well that it is humiliation when you donate something to the church and the church rejects your donation. William Ruto has always portrayed himself as a man who is very close to the church. And so when the Catholic Church rejected the donation, he was really humiliated. So what Oscar Sudi is doing is damage control. He's also trying to blame the bishops. And on this, I think he wants to set the people against the church. For example, he wants the people to believe that, you know, they need this money, yet the bishops do not want it because they needed some token before this money was given out. Luckily for the Catholic Church, Oscar Sudi must understand that the church has got structures. For example, the Catholic Church has got a command structure all the way from the Pope trickling down. And so the followers will always listen to their bishops than Oscar Sudi. In fact, I remember when he first attacked Bishop Muheria, people were asking him, surely, where did you get that audacity to start attacking Bishop Muheria? Because in the courts of public opinions, people tend to trust the bishops than Oscar Sudi when it comes to matters spiritual. And this will backfire just like it backfired. And that's why I was saying that William Ruto should tone down. He should not try to get head on with the church. He's going to lose this fight. Just like he used the church in 2022 to ascend to power, because the church is an opinion shaper. They convince and persuade very many people. And that's how William Ruto rose to the highest position by saying he was God sent. Today, the church has realized that William Ruto is a shadow of his former self. And so, if he goes directly the way he's going with the church, it is going to backfire on him. Oscar Sudi also wants to try and create division in the church. He is trying to ensure that there are people who will side with him and others will side with the bishop. But this will not happen. Like I said, there is a command structure. Anyone who subscribes to the ideologies of a certain church will always trust the leadership of that church. And so it will not work for him. We are going to see more of these reactions because they feel their boss has been humiliated. They feel they have been exposed. But it is not only the church that is tired of this government. Every other person who voted for William Samoei Ruto, for one reason or the other, maybe he was a man of God to them, maybe he was the man who would turn around our economy, you know, all these things, for any reason, they have rebelled because the truth is known. They said immediately, akiweka Biblia chini, that passed. They requested for 3 months, that passed. They requested for a year, it passed. Now 2 years down the line, taxes have been increased, subsidies have been abandoned. We've just realized that we are being controlled by the IMF and World Bank. The Finance Bill 2023 and the Finance Bill 2024. In fact, the Finance Bill 2024 is coming back. We've just realized that our country is rotten because we have abandoned our rich culture and we want to adopt the LGBTQ, something that Donald Trump is coming to deal with. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just repeating that if William Ruto is wise enough, let him ignore or just decide to go slow. Let him not send these proxies to try and attack the church. It will not work for him because people are tired and they tend to believe the church because William Ruto's true colors have been exposed. If he continues with this, I can assure you, he's going to regret it.